when we look at royals on film, particularly things like The Crown and the King's Speech and stuff, we're always fascinated, aren't we? Because obviously, people are writing and it's a, drama, a novel, whatever you want to call it. But, we always think, were they really like that? I absolutely do think that Helena Bonham Carter was brilliant as, of course, Queen Elizabeth in the King's Speech. I just thought she gave an excellent performance of a woman who was truly behind her king, and obviously was going through a very difficult time. But as we've seen, well, from the likes of Dame Helen Mirren, met her, Dame Judi Dench, met her, and of course all those other stars, including the brilliant and late and sometimes forgotten Flora Robson, who played, of course, royalty as well. She of Brighton fame. Oh yes, lovely plaque down there for her. Well, it's interesting to find out exactly who did the royals think really resembled their own relatives. Well, on camera, as ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you, chums. Thank you so much as ever for joining me. As ever, yes, I know I can't get that phrase out of my mind. Can you? Have you ordered your jam yet? No, I know. You just can't. I don't know about you, but I find that, I know I've often said when I go in those places like Fortnum and Mason's, normally in the winter for a warm, you know what I mean? You wander around those red carpets and you look at the price of the jams and stuff and you think, yeah, it's nice, but it is just a jar. It's not a meal, is it? Toast and jam, it's always nice with a cup of tea, but yeah, seemingly nobody's ordering now from the As Ever website. Meghan's too busy moving on being a new Leona Helmsley, I'll have you know. Oh yes, back as ever though to your story of the day. I love a good royal drama, yes. I'm not a fan of The Crown, simply because I know what they do to The Crown, and I don't care about the advisors that they're just highlighting it for, literally entertainment, and that's good if that's what you want. But really, to have the ghost of Diana coming back with our late and brilliant monarch, you think, oh please, give it a rest, And one of the people that I wanted to share this with you is about this particular story, because when you think about Queen Mary of Teck, not much is known about her. For my sort of two penneth, as it were, I've always been fascinated with her. Coming from the Edwardian era, the Victorian era and the Edwardian era, and then of course just seemingly lasting long enough of the transition of Queen Elizabeth on the year of her, of course, coronation. And a lot of people paint Queen Mary as a cold, calculating and unloving mother. But then, what mother had to put up with her son abdicating and leaving the crown in jeopardy? I thought she handled it incredibly well and moved forward the very best that she could. Of course, different times, different backgrounds. Now, Queen Mary is being portrayed on screen by the likes of Geraldine James, Dame Eileen Atkins, and this particular lady who I got to know very well, Claire Bloom. Now, Claire Bloom, as you know, I met her actually on a West End show called 6 Dance Lessons in 6 Weeks, alongside this man, Billy Zane. Terrific people. And then, such a privilege, I ended up doing an audience with both Billy and Claire on the stage of the Theatre Royal in the Haymarket. And that's when we were just getting ready and everything. And then she kindly pointed out how it was a very haunted theatre, as if your nerves weren't bad enough, you know what I'm saying? Terrific fun though, and as ever, you do remain friends with these people. But it was talking to someone that I found this out, and I wanted to share this with you. You see, as I say, Queen Mary of Teck, tricky customer to get right as an actor, actress, whatever you want to call them, because obviously she had Germanic background, she spoke in a German voice, and not many people understood that. Now, according to a very well-placed source, the Queen, as I say, being portrayed by Dame Helen Mirren on screen, and everybody assumed that she was like that character. Prince Philip, not so, didn't particularly like it, said it was nothing like her. Who knows? Of course, we have to take his word. He was married to the lovely lady for many, many years, right? But according to a well-placed source, Her Majesty the Queen offered this little bon mot about Claire Bloom. She said, quote, apparently, she said, the closest I've ever seen Queen Mary come to life on screen was by none other than Claire Bloom in the King's Speech. So I went back to watch it and you think, oh, right. And then, of course, you look at it and think, I can understand that. The Queen elaborated further, saying that Claire was a wonderful actress. She'd seen her in many things over the years, but she said she just got all the sort of, little flicks and nuances about Queen Mary together. And the Queen apparently was fascinated as to who gave her that information and how did she manage to pull off such a coup portraying someone like that on the screen, because let's be honest, not many of us know too much about her. Yes, this film, but a lot of it's silent and there's no real talking or interviews. Either way, it's lovely to know, isn't it, that the Queen clearly did check up on her relatives on screen. And according to our late and brilliant monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, well, yes, Claire Bloom, a lovely lady who was also married to the Hollywood superstar Rod Steiger, met him too, more about that later. Well, apparently she did it best. Who do you think played the royals best on screen? I'd love to know your thoughts. As ever, do let me know, and if you can, please like and share. And as ever, do be kind. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.